What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony, back again. Story time, yeah. Village storyteller time. Y'all know what that means if you've been keeping up with me. But anyway, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that comment for me, y'all. I know a lot of people been wanting me to go back to my prison stories, and I've been kind of bucking on it, kind of running away from it due to my life change. But prayed about it, talked to a lot of people about it, and I bumped into a guy at the gas station the other day, young guy, couldn't have been no more than about 23, 24, maybe at the most. He was getting some gas. He was at worked for Amazon, and he noticed me and seen me, and he was like, "Man, hey, I watch your show, man. I listen to your stories. Your stories have really helped me change my life." And I said, "Man, you know what? That's what God want me to do. He don't want me to run from it. He want me to embrace it and use it to, spread his word and get a message to these youngsters." So I said, okay, what I'm gonna do, eventually I'm gonna tell my prison stories again, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit and let people know that I'm not glorifying it, but it's a message in it. I'm gonna put a message in it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this story right here, this is Village Storyteller. I'm gonna just jump right into it. Those who have a real good imagination, they gonna love it. Those who don't might be a little far stretched for you. But let's check it out, man. We gonna ease over to the Asian persuasion on this one right here. Boom. Anyway, dark night. Dark night. This was a night that anybody that was not into nefarious activities would not be out. It was raining, thundering, lightning. They were on some docks. On the docks in some warehouses. It was 5 men, all in black suits, all with black glasses on. One of the men had a briefcase in his hand, but the briefcase had a handcuff attached to the briefcase and attached to his hand. They was there for some meeting. They was there for a meeting. They stood around, thunder, lightning going. Eventually, the doors start opening. 3 big black SUVs rolled in. Ominous, dark, windows tinted, boom. You could tell it was probably bulletproof glass on the cars, and the cars probably were bulletproof. Out of the cars, each stepped 3 Asian men. Dark suits, very, very heavily loaded with weapons. They was looking around. They approached the 5 other guys that they were going to meet. The 5 other men were Italians. It was some type of activity going on. It was some type of deal going on. So when they approached each other, the Italian guy spoke to him, and he said, "Do you have what we're here for?" And the Asian guy spoke up. He said, "Yes. Do you have what we're here for?" Now, whatever they was there for, we don't know, but you could tell that they didn't want nobody to know neither, because it was going down in the darkest of night, way out on the docks. He said, "Show me." The Asian man said, "No, you show me." Now, of course, the other Asian men were all strapped with automatic weapons. Of course, the five Italian dudes, they were strapped with automatic weapons, but they weren't using it to threaten each other. It was there just in case. So they talked, and the Italian guy told me, he said, "Man, we don't play no games. We do get business." And the Chinese man told him, "We understand. We've done business with you before, but caution is caution." It was like a bottle clink off into the distance. Clink, clink. They all looked around. They like, "Man, what's going on? What's going on?" So the Asian man looked at the Italian guy and he said, "Man, did you bring someone else?" And he like, "No." "Did you bring someone else?" He like, "No, we didn't bring anyone else." The whole building kind of started getting darker, but the darkness was moving. And so the Chinese man, he was like, "Man, what kind of game is this? What's going on?" And the Italian guy like, "Man, I don't know what this is." He said, "Man, the shadows are moving." And the shadows came closer and closer. You heard a swishing sound. one of the Asian guys with the automatic weapon in his hand, he dropped his weapon, he grabbed his throat. But when he grabbed his throat, it was blood shooting between his fingers. He was like, everybody went in panic. Everybody started looking around. The Asian man, he looked at the Italian man. He was like, man, what is this? What is this? What is this? The Italian like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You tell me. You heard a pow. One of the Italian men grabbed the side of his neck. Blood was shooting out his neck. He dropped. They couldn't tell what they were being hit with, but something was hitting their men in the neck. All of them just started shooting up into the rafters all around. It was so dark, they don't know what they were shooting at. They couldn't see anything that they were shooting at. From the top rafter, it seemed like a black cloud floated to the ground. And everybody was looking at it like, what? The Italian guy looked at the Asian guy. He's like, man, what kind of games are these? Are these your games? The Asian guy told me, he said, man, I have no idea what it is. So they were like, let's destroy it. They start dumping on the shadow. The shadow moved so fast. They couldn't tell. It came around and it came through the whole pack of them. Boom, 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 boom. As the shadow passed through all the Asian guys, they just started dropping. Boom, boom, boom. Different slices, different cuts on them. And the Italian guys was looking, they just started getting off. At the shadow. The shadow was so elusive, it was hard to hit. From the back of where the Italian guys were standing, you just heard, The lead Italian guy with the suitcase in his hand, he turned to look. He started looking at his men just fall. And he seen this guy dressed in all black with glowing red eyes standing there. He had just stabbed the last guy. He let him drop. The shadow looked at the last guy with the suitcase in his hand. And he said, drop it. Dude like, who are you? What are you? Who are you? What are you? The shadowy guy said, drop the suitcase. The guy could tell from the accent of his voice that whoever this was, that he was Asian too. And the dude was like, no, I can't. I won't drop it. I can't. They'll kill me. He said, then the shadow said, you're already dead. And it moved so quick and it passed the Italian guy. When it passed him, the Italian guy was just standing there looking. And he looked down at his wrist and it was cut off. And blood just started pumping out his hand. And when he looked up the screen, the shadowy guy cut his throat. All while holding the briefcase with the severed hand hanging from the other end. He was gone. He was gone. Man, news hit the airwaves everywhere. News hit the airwaves. 10 men found dead in abandoned warehouse on the docks. But now, little did a lot of people know in the shadowy underground that this had been going on for a few weeks now. You know what I'm saying? Members from the Italian mob were coming up gone. From the Irish mob were coming up gone. From the Yakuza, from all the Asian mobs, they were coming up dead. And couldn't nobody figure out who this was, but it was always hints of some of a shadowy figure. And so nobody knew what was going on. They were scared, man. They were scared. So now they reached out. They reached out to an old clan that was still in Asia, in China, for this thing to stop. They didn't know what was going on, but they knew they needed help. And it was one guy from the Yakuza who knew of a clan that was very versed in martial arts. And he sent an emissary to him. And it was the Iron Eagle's Claw clan. They were known for assassins. They were known for their style of combat and what they would do. And people from in all walks, all walks of life around the world would always hire them. That's how they took care of their village, and they took care of their part of their land, because they would train their youngsters, and they would send them out around the world to help to do whatever they need to be done for money to come back. And this has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. The Iron Eagles Claw clan would always show when they were called. And so one of the high-ranking members from the Yakuza, he got in contact with them. And boom, they said, okay, we'll come. And they came, a man and a woman. A man and a woman came. And when they spoke to him, they said, we understand. And the dude, and the lead dude from the Yakuza, he told him, he said, look, we have a meeting in a few more days. We need your protection, because whoever this is that keeps killing our men, we can't see him. We can't get a bead on him. We don't know who it is. And we need your help. They said, okay, we got it. Time goes on. A few days pass. When the meeting comes, they called her. And she said, do not worry. We'll be there. Okay. So they met out in the woods. They didn't want no prying eyes to see them. They didn't want nobody watching them. The people they were meeting with, they really had to get this done. It was a big money deal going on. Big money deal. Weren't no drugs being transacted, but it was some papers. What was on the papers, nobody knew but them. So they was out there. And while they was out there, they was standing around talking. And they was like, where's our help? We don't know where our help is. Where's our help? And they was like, we don't know. But the lady we spoke with said, just don't worry about it. They be here. And so they be like, man, this is some BS, man. We out here in these woods. I don't see nobody. It should be an army out here, because whoever this dude is that keep doing what he's doing, we need an army to stop him. A voice said from way up in the trees, I am the army. They looked up. They couldn't see nothing. They were like, what? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Then a voice from on the ground from behind another tree said, we are the army. He's like, show yourself. There's no need. At this time, it was some lights coming down the highway. The lights pulled off into the little branch. I mean, you know, the little piece of road that can go back off into where they were. And so now the men was like, are you here to help us? He said, I'm here to protect you. Don't worry about seeing me. So they was like, well, cool, all right. So the people that they was there to meet, they came. They was transacting business, getting their thing out the way. All you heard was, pow. One of the men grabbed his neck, and blood started coming out. The shadows got real thick and real deep around the woods. And so they was all backing up against the car. And so the other dude said, I thought you had someone here that was going to protect us. And he said, we supposed to have someone here. We supposed to have someone here. Shadow dropped down out the trees. Boom. When it dropped down out the trees, it started running straight toward everybody. Right when the shadow got up on them, a person appeared. He was finna strike. As he struck, it seemed like a shadow just rose up off the ground, deflected to strike. And when it deflected to strike, the dude who was trying to hit him, he went this way, and the other shadow went with him. And the people that was watching, all they seen two individuals going at it. Boom, boom, boom. Trading blow for blow, blow for blow. All they knew was, we have to go. We got to go. Whatever this supernatural stuff is, whatever these ghosts, whatever they got going on, that's on them. This above our pay grade. We're out of here now. The white guys got in their car. And the Asian guys was getting in their car and they was leaving. They was getting on. The shadow that had started hitting them in the neck with metal spikes, he looked at him. He wanted to chase him, but he knew he couldn't chase him because whoever this was that had came up to stop him was very skilled, and he didn't want to turn his back on him. They was in the woods fighting. Boom, boom, boom. They was going at it. Now, the shadow with the glowing red eyes, he was throwing blow after blow after blow. The new guy that had showed up, he was deflecting them, and every blow that he threw, he was deflect. The shadow with the red eyes was deflecting them. Blow for blow for blow for blow. They was going at it. Blow for blow for blow. High kicks, low kicks, star kicks. You know what I'm saying? Every form of style that they kept switching up to, it's like they were mirroring each other. It was like you was like fighting yourself in the mirror. It was like fighting a mirror. Boom, 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 boom. They locking up. The shadowy form with the glowing red eyes, he stepped back and he looked at him and he asked him, "Who are you?" And the other man said, "Who are you?" He said, and the one with the red eyes said, "Man, I'm the voice of justice." He said, "No, you're the voice of a killer." And they connected again. They start getting down again. Boom, bam, boom, boom. Every kick, every roundhouse, every style, it was like they complemented each other. They was able to deflect each other's blows to a certain extent. And it was like, man, neither one of them could get a real devastating hit on the other, you know? So now the shadow with the glowing red eyes, he stepped back and he started doing a certain kind of hand movements, twisted his hand a certain type way. And when he did it, he came. Whoo. And this time, the way he came was side to side movement. And when they locked up this time, it was a different feel. The other shadow kind of felt a different feel. And next thing you know, in his mind, he was to block a blow that was coming at his head, but the blow never came at his head. The blow caught him in his chest. And when the blow caught him in his chest, it hit him. It knocked him back a couple of feet, but it didn't seem like it was something that would just drop him in his tracks. But after a couple of seconds, he felt a thumping in his chest. Boom, 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 boom. And the shadowy figure that with the glowing red eyes, he stepped back. He said, "You are dead." He went up into the trees. And so the other shadowy figure, like, "I'm dead," but it started hurting more and more and more. Everything in him told him he had to get back. He had to get back to his mother. He left. He made it back to where his mother was, barely in time to get through the door and collapse on the ground. And his mother started hollering, "Salto, Salto, Salto, Salto." And when she looked down at him, when she pulled the hood and everything off, it was black lines starting to come up his neck, going to his face. And so she like, ooh, she knew what this was. She pulled his shirt open, and right on his chest was a mark of a palm. And from that mark, black lines of poison were seeping out. And she called her son. This was her son, Salto. What is this? And he like he couldn't talk. The only person that could save him at this time was his mother. She immediately stripped him down, and she went and got all her stuff. She was a master of acupuncture, the little needles. She put them in, 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 put them in. She had to stop the poison from spreading because her son would not live too much longer. She was happy that he was even able to make it back to her. So now, after about 24 hours, he was laying in a coma almost. But the black poisonous lines started receding. And from each needle that was acupunctured in, some black ooze started coming out her son. She would wipe it off. It took her 2 days to bring him back from the brink of death. After that, she started feeding him soup, and then he was able to talk again. When he opened up his eyes on the third day, she asked him what had happened, and he told her. Because due to the contract, he was there, and he told her how how shadowy form showed up, and how they fought. And he told her, like, mother, every blow I gave, he countered it. Every blow he gave, I countered it. Every kick, it was like I was fighting myself in a mirror. And she told him, go on, tell me more, tell me more. Said at the end, he backed up. He did a certain amount of hand movements, and when he came in again to strike, I seen the blow coming toward my head. When I went to block it, the blow connected in my chest. How it was that fast, I don't know. She said, son, what did he look like? He was dressed in all black. He said, but his eyes glowed red. She said, this isn't good. This isn't good. He was like, mama, mother, tell me, what happened? What is this? What's going on? Who is this guy? Who is this? So she said, I'm going to tell you something that I should have told you a while ago. She said, when you were very young, your father had a real prominent student. His name was Lo Fang. Lo Fang was your father's best student. He learned everything that your father had to teach him. But he always wanted to learn the Bushido palm, and your father would not teach it to him. And one day he followed your father and stole the style that was written in the book. He ended up killing a lot of the warriors that we had around at that time, and he escaped. For years we couldn't find him, for years. And behind that, your father grew very ill and very sick from shame. He ended up passing away. She told him the Bushido palm only has one defense. And he asked the mother, what is that? The TNN strike. He like, the TNN strike. Yes, the TNN strike. Said the TNN strike and the Bushido palm are like a yin and a yang. They go together. One is an offensive strike, and the other one is a defensive strike. Your father was the Bushido palm strike. She said, but I, your mother, am the TNN strike master. They can only counter each other. The TNN strike is the only thing that can stop the Bushido palm from killing you. He was like, but I couldn't stop it. I thought it was here. She said, yeah, it's a deceptive palm strike. The strike, if it catches you anywhere on your body, it will set up the poison that will eventually kill you. You have to hit it directly in the palm with the TNN strike to stop it. So Sao To asked his mother, mother, could you teach me it? Teach me it. Teach me it. She said, I'm going to have to. She said, I never wanted to do this, but I have to now because Lo Fang has returned. It was a while. Lo Fang, he was cutting up all over, still doing what he's doing. But Sao To was learning. He was learning. Sao To was the next leader of the Iron Eagle's Claw clan, the clan that his father started, and his great-great-grandfather started, and his great-great-father before that started. They had to keep it going. When he got well, his mother showed him how they coincided with each other. One is left, one is right. One is right, one is left. They cannot defeat each other. They can only stop each other. So she taught her son the TNN strike, and it was with two fingers that had to be hit directly in the center of the Bushido palm strike. And they would always negate each other. The Bushido palm strike could not defeat the TNN strike, and the TNN strike could not defeat the Bushido palm strike. They can only negate each other. They can only cancel each other out. He said, cool. So he started learning. He learned it. And now after he had learned it, his mother told him, she said, listen, You're going to meet this guy again. You're going to meet this guy again. She said, do not be deceived by the direction that you perceive that the strike is coming, that the palm is coming. She said, it will always be directed toward the chest area. You have to fix your mind to see it coming for the chest area and not the head, stomach, nowhere else. The chest area. And he started learning it. He learned it. They were hired again to go out and protect a meeting that some underground individuals had going on. Salto, he was there. He knew that Lo Fang would show up. And as the meeting was going, the whole meeting went through. Nobody attacked. But as the meeting was leaving, Salto felt a presence. They was in an abandoned warehouse. He felt the presence. And he struck out and he hollered out, Lo Fang, I know you are here. I feel you. Show yourself. So you just heard an ominous laugh. And from the shadows, it's like he just stepped out of the shadow, like he just stepped out of the wall. And Lo Fang told him, he said, so you know who I am? He like, yes, he said, and Lo Fang knew it. He knew that his mother had told him because she was the only one that would know. He said, today, one of us dies. We both can't be here. And so Salto wanted to speak with him, but Lo Fang didn't want to speak. Lo Fang attacked. They fought. Blow for blow. As they say, everybody was kung fu fighting. They was going round for round, pound for pound. As they backed up to look at each other, Lo Fang told him, he said, I knew when I seen you here who you were. He said, because you supposed to have died at our last meeting, and there's only one person on this planet that could have stopped the poison from taking you. He said, how is Mother Mei Ling doing? Salto looked at him. He said, how did this dude know about my mother? So he caught his composure, and Salto told him, she's doing well. Something you won't be in doing in shortly. And they attacked each other again. Boom, boom, blow. I'm talking about kicks was lightning fast. You couldn't see them. Strikes was just strike. Boom, boom, bam. They was going at it. Up the wall, down the wall, around and round and round they was going. Lo Fang told him, he said, this is getting tiresome. He said, now I must leave you. But before I leave you, I will take your life. And he started enacting the hand movements that he had enacted earlier. And he came out Salto. Wham. Salto seen the blow coming toward his head, but he couldn't fool him like he fooled him last time. He stilled his mind, and he was able to see the Bushido palm coming at his chest. And at the last second, he hit the Bushido palm dead center with the 10-inch strike. Bam! They knocked each other back, and they both came up in a stand. Lo Fang looked at him. He said, that is the 10-inch strike. So your mother taught you. He said, you have the Bushido palm that you stole from my father. So Lo Fang told him, stole from your father. Is that what she told you? Is that what she made you think, that I stole it? Yes, you stole it. You're a thief. Lo Fang told him, he said, tell Ming to tell you the truth. And he turned around, he started sprinting toward the shadows in the corner. When he went into the shadows, he disappeared. Now, of course, Salto could have followed him because he had the same skills. He could have followed him into the shadows. But no, he was perplexed now. Because what Lo Fang had said to him was ringing in his mind. Lies, deceit, secrets, what's going on? He returned back to his mother. And I'm going to leave it right there, y'all. You want another part, just let me know.